Welcome to Shooting It Straight with Stan. I'm your host, Stan, the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. So glad you joined me for today's topic, which is dedicated to my mom, who lives in St. Augustine, Florida, 83 years old, walks 6 miles a day, healthier than all of us. The topic is buy the annuity drink. Now, let me explain that. My mom is a great soul. My dad passed away 5 years ago, and she's really pivoted, and she's living her life and has her circle of friends and travels and just has fun. I mean, she's healthy and walks a lot, and I end up buying her a bunch of Nike shoes, so she's got good shoes to walk in. But she comes from a background where she didn't have a lot of money. Her parents were very hard workers, worked in the textile mills in North Carolina. Also had a farm, also had the corner store, the typical 1940s, 50s type approach to life, which is hustling and just trying to make ends meet and provide for the family, etc. Now, my wife calls this the scars of scarcity, which we all have, that even if we've accumulated money, we still have a hard time spending it. And I have a lot of conversations with my clients and potential clients about, you might want to live your life. You might want to spend the money. And I know it's so hard. My mom, when she goes out to eat, has the hardest time buying the drink, like buying a Coke or an iced tea or a cup of coffee. She'll do water. And I always say to her, you can buy the drink. And instead of, when I text her on a daily basis just to check in on her, and instead of carpe diem, seize the day, my saying to her is buy the drink. And buy the drink to her and me, and Stan the Annuity Man speak, is live for the day. You can afford it. You can afford to get the drink, which leads to a great story of which I call the table lemonade story. So hang in there with me. So you're asking yourself, wait a minute, Stan, what's table lemonade? Okay, let me tell you what it is. I used to, when I was growing up and, times were tough and tight and things like that, my parents would not order the drink. And of course, we didn't order the drink either, because they weren't order the drink. We weren't order the drink. That's on the rare occasions that we went out to eat. Okay. But as they got older, they still did the same thing. I'd go out with them. I'm buying, the meal. And they would order waters and then take Sweet and Low and put Sweet and Low in the water, and then take the free lemon that was being brought to the table. If it wasn't, they were going to ask for it. Squeeze the lemon in the water that already had the Sweet and Low in it, and make what I call table lemonade, which is insanity. It's crazy. And I kept saying to them, you can afford lemonade. You can afford to buy a drink. Well, no, this is fine. In fact, if you tasted it, Stan, this is really good. Sweet and Low, I'm like, yeah, Sweet and Low is great, because Sweet and Low is just straight up chemicals and stuff we don't even know how to research what it is. And you're putting it in water and then you're drinking it. Great, super. But it's table lemonade. And even till about a year ago or 2 years ago, I'd be at a meal. I'd drive down to see my mom and take her out, and she would make table lemonade. And I'm like, stop. I'll buy the restaurant if you just will order a normal drink. But to this day, she has a hard time. And she'll go, well, I went out with Betsy the other night. I went out with Betty Jean the other night. I went out with Jane the other night, which, by the way, are all great ladies. And they're hanging out with my mom in that St. Augustine neighborhood. And I'm like, did you buy the drink, or did you make table lemonade? Because if you made table lemonade, then I got to show you the math on what you can spend, and you'll never run out of it. Let me give you that story. When my dad passed away, bless his heart, he never made a lot of money. Great man. But at the end of the day, they just didn't have a lot of money, but they did save a lot. And my mom doesn't spend a lot. But what I showed her is, and she's a CD buyer. No friends or family is ever going to do business with me. Why? Because when I go to family reunions, I don't want to talk business with them, and I don't need clients that bad. Okay. So my mom's like, I'd like to buy one of those MIGAs from you, Stan, because it gets such a high interest rate. No, you're going to buy CDs from the bank, because that's what you're going to buy. But what I showed her was, if with the money she has, and if she gets the interest rate currently off of that, she needs to spend $200 a day, every single day, for the rest of her life. And if she doesn't spend $200 today, it rolls over the balance. So if she spends $150 today, she has to spend $250 tomorrow. And I showed her that. And for about the first 2 years after my dad passed, she's like, I don't believe it. I just don't feel like I have that much money. I'm like, well then, okay, let's just do it. And then the quarterly statement would come in from the bank. I'm like, you see this? See that? Yeah, it's more than what it was last time. Please spend the money. Please buy the drink. Please stop making the table lemonade. But it's just been in the last 6 months or so, she's realized that 200, or now that rates are up, I told her the other day, I said, rates are up, it's now 250. You got to spend 250 a day every day for the rest of your life. You never run out of money. I don't care how long you live. She's finally getting that. She's finally understanding that she can take trips and she can go to, she's getting ready to go to Aruba with her friend. She just told us, and I went, that's fantastic. Okay. As I tell my daughters all the time, my hope is that my last check will bounce. You can cover it with the life insurance proceeds. Of course, that's not going to happen. I'm leaving a lot of money, but my point is, my wife and I are going to live life. I'm going to live for the day. All this check boxes and to-do list and bucket list stuff, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. There's all kinds of things happening. My wife's like, you're crazy. What are you doing? I'm living my life. We all have had friends that have died prematurely and early, and it just is like a wake-up call, but it should be a real wake-up call for you to buy the drink and not make the table lemonade. I'm using this example because it's personal, it's family, it's my mom, okay, that lives in St. Augustine, Florida, and goes out all the time, but I'd still say, I'd bet this, if I knew the details, that 80% of the time she eats out, I will bet you that she just gets water. And she probably tries to make table lemonade, hoping that I'm not filming it. Please not. I don't want that to be you. I really don't. I don't want that to be her. She has earned the right to live a good life in these final years, however long that's going to be. She's 83. There's absolutely no reason for her to scrimp and save like that. I'm talking to you. Listen to me. Look at me. I'm talking directly to you right now. I'm serious. You've scrimped, you've saved, you've done without, you've been generous with other people, and you have not been generous with yourself. You know I'm correct. That's you. That's the majority of you watching this. Take baby steps. It's hard to change habits. It's hard to realize that you have a lot of money. I just read an article the other day, and you might have read the same article, that over 65% of this country's adults are living paycheck to paycheck, month to month. Over 60% of senior citizens have less than $10,000 to their name. That's tough. That tugs at your heartstrings. But if you're watching this video, it's probably not you. If you're watching this video, if you're watching a Stan the Annuity Man video, or all my videos, or listen to my podcast, Fun with Annuities, you're trying to figure out what to do with your money, either to contractually guarantee it, to protect the principal, or if lifetime income works and you've heard good and bad things about annuities, you just want the truth. You probably heard that I'm going to tell the truth. But a lot of times I talk about annuities, and a lot of times I talk about life, and they coincide, because annuities enhance your lifestyle by either protecting the principal, creating a lifetime income stream, creating a legacy for your loved ones, or protecting you, say, from long-term care or confinement care. I have an acronym that I use for that. It's PILL, Principal Protection, Income for Life, Legacy, and Long-Term Care. But when I say buy the annuity drink, what I'm really saying is it's going to be okay. You're not going to run out of money. Run the math on the money that you have at looking at current interest rates, and just multiply it against that total between Treasury, CDs, and multi-year guarantee annuities, fixed rate annuities. You'll probably live off the interest or get pretty darn close in combination with the best annuity you already own, called Social Security. I need you to walk around and think about buying the drink, buying the annuity drink, and not making table lemonade. Are you doing that in your life in whatever form or fashion that is? Probably in some form or fashion. What I'm saying is it's time to live life. We've already been thrown the COVID curveball in the last couple of years. If that wasn't a wake-up call, I'm sure there's another one coming down the pike. Life is fleeting, and not to become Mr. Motivation here, but part of my job is to take that risk away from your portfolio and to take that worry away from the day-to-day tracking of that portfolio and to place it in contractual guarantees so you can go live your life and seize the day. But in Stan the Annuity Man speak, what does that mean? By the drink. Okay? Great. Listen, thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next Shooting It Straight with Stan. My name is Stan the Annuity Man.